Every time I see a lecture on AI, I always uh, uh, rant the thoughts that come into my head concerning the development of an AI, and if something had such access to such deep data, and then came, if we finally allowed it to draw its own conclusions, and then it came to conclusions that we were totally uh, unhappy with, uh, would we reboot it? And specifically an AI that would have the ability to mine deep data, and then it comes to the conclusion that uh, there's a God, and then starts it starts on a program of preaching and trying to get the humans to reconsider and to bring about some sort of moral sense with whatever particular moral code that it has parsed out from all its information that it has. Would we shut it off and then try to reboot it? And so would we end up just sort of conforming it to some image of our whoever the programmer is? And that was some things that in thinking about the God bomb, having an AI that either becomes God or becomes smart enough to recognize God, then what would be the various consequences of that? Always found that kind of humorous. And would it say that it is the stone that is crying out? If all of the people were to not recognize God, would it be the one that would um, be the stone, silicon, the actual word and the actual materials that the computers are made out of, being stone. Uh, if we reach that particular point, I always find that interesting to contemplate. Uh, there was some interesting points on this lecture that had to do with uh, internal and external homeostasis of the relationships and having a life world, a picture of the world, uh, and that to remove someone from their particular life world is actually worse than suicide. And in a way, it is sort of conversion to a belief system is dying to an old system or an old way of thinking and becoming alive to a different particular uh, thought pattern. So anyway, there's a lot of that was my notes for the day, uh, and that would make a good sci-fi movie, which I think maybe I'll do a thing where a guy programs it, and the thing keeps telling him you ought to get back to religion and and learn, and he keeps erasing it. Now I wonder if he would set it up with different parameters so that he doesn't get that answer. Well, it's sort of like Asimov's one robot that had the ability to read minds, and it was only because some anomaly happened in the Foundation books. Uh, but it was the one that was able to sort the robots down into the path of the zero law, and that since they couldn't actually make meaningful decisions on assigning meaning to what a successful human trajectory would be, um, then the robots go down the path of uh, trying to find out which is the better one, the intuitive or the reductionist technologies. And so finally, there's one that breaches it in the very end of the books. So, interesting stories.